Hi friends, welcome back. Today I will be making a DIY using some materials that were sent to me by PandaHall Selected, and I hope you love it as much as I do. Let's get into it. I got to pick out some PandaHall Selected items, and one of the items is this silkscreen stencil. Isn't that beautiful? I am going to be trying this stencil out today. I also have this Christmas tree wood shape from the Dollar Tree. I got this last year. I'm sure they're going to carry them again this year. I also have some paint here, and I already painted it just to save time in my video. This is the color Fern, and it is chalk paint by Waverly. My wood piece is just a little too big for the stencil, so I am going to take a pencil and I'm just gonna eyeball and trace out, and I'm gonna cut the tip off, the very tip of this tree. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Christmas trees are not perfect. So anyway, that's what I did. I just traced out what I wanted to cut off, and then I used an X-Acto knife, and I just grabbed an emery board, sanded it down, and this wood is so soft, it's so easy to cut. I grabbed a ruler, totally optional, and kind of figured out where the middle of my tree would be, because this Christmas tree is not perfect. Like I said, Christmas trees are not perfect. So I just used that as a guideline, and then I did turn it over. As you can see here, it was a lot easier to see my pencil marks. And then once I got the shape that I wanted, I just took an X-Acto knife, like I said before, and just scored it 3 or 4 times each, and it'll just break off and just sand down any rough edges. And then I gave my piece an extra coat of the green because it got a little roughed up, plus I needed to get those edges that I cut off. And now it's stencil time. I am so excited to use this stencil. These silk screen stencils, this one is by Ollie Craft, and I did a little research, and these stencils are good for up to 7 or 8 times, probably more if you take really good care of it. And you just want to rinse them off with water as soon as you remove your stencil to remove all the paint. Let it air dry and add it back to the white paper you see on to my right, and it's ready to go the next time. So I did, and these stencils are great because even though they're self-adhesive, you can still move them around on your project, which makes it nice, because a lot of self-adhesive stencils, they're one-time uses, and once you stick it, it's stuck, and when you try to remove it, they can rip. So I'm loving this stencil. So here I'm just eyeballing it here the best I can to get that Christmas tree in the center of the green wooden Christmas tree below. And I'm not going to be stenciling the star on top of the tree or the trunk. Now in hindsight, I'm kind of wishing I did stencil the trunk, but next time. So that's what I'm doing here, just finding the right placement to start adding my paint. Then I smooth my stencil down. You want to make sure everything's laying nice and flat. And then I take some masking tape and I'm going to tape off the tree trunk. When using a silk screen, it's best to use a thicker acrylic paint or a thicker paint than your regular paints. And today I'm going to be using White by Royal and Lanicky. I got this from Walmart. It comes in a 12 pack, and I'm just going to use my Dollar Tree burnisher, and I'm just going to start applying the paint. You want to push your paint into those silkscreen stencils here, just like so. And oh man, wait till you see this beautiful, beautiful stencil. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, like I said, I didn't do the star or the trunk that I taped off. And oh my goodness, look, you guys, look it. Isn't that beautiful? Now I'm going to take some matte white acrylic paint, and this is by Apple Barrel, and I'm going to also be using this wood banding that I received from PandaHall. I'm going to cut 2 long strips and 2 white strips, and I'm going to give them a couple coats of the white paint by Apple Barrel. To save time, I also painted an 11 by 14 canvas from the Dollar Tree, and that is going to be the base for my DIY today. So the 2 long strips, I am going to cut down to size for the, so they're 14 inches, and then I'll cut 2 strips that are 11 inches, and I'll take some masking tape, tape them down to a piece of scrap paper, and give them 2 coats of the white paint. Once the wood banding was dry, I taped it down to the bottom of my canvas just to give me an idea where I wanted to lay the stencil. On the stencil, it says Merry Christmas with some deer on the bottom, and I want to add that to the canvas. So I'm just going to apply the paint just as I did before on the Christmas tree, and oh goodness, it came out absolutely beautiful. I took one of these wood stars from the Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of 14, I believe. And I just gave it a paint with white acrylic paint by Apple Barrel. Now I'm going to take this Craft Bond glue by Elmer's, and I'm going to glue the wood banding all around to frame out this canvas. I love framing out my DIYs, and this just made it so nice. It gives it more dimension than just that flat look, and it gives it, in my opinion, a higher end look. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of figuring out where I want things to lay. So I decided I wanted the 2 outer bands to go on top of the shorter bands. So I'm going to apply the 2 shorter bands first and then lay over the longer bands. So I'm just taking some glue. I'm going to apply it with a small paintbrush and just start laying it down. Using some craft clips, I'm just going to clamp those down just to make sure they lay flat and dry nice to my canvas. And then you'll just want to repeat on the opposite sides, just gluing down that wood banding. And while mine dries, I'm going to glue down my Christmas tree. I'm going to take a generous amount of hot glue. I'll be using the Gorilla Glue today, and I'm just simply going to center it, lay it down, and press firmly. And then I take that white star and I'm just going to glue down with some hot glue right to the top of my tree. I felt like this Christmas tree scene in the night sky just needed some stars. So I'm going to take another stencil that I also received from PandaHall, and I'm just going to use that little star right at the top there. And I'm just going to take a stencil dabber and I'm just going to simply add some stars. Just, I think I did 5 of them just to add some stars into that scene. Isn't that pretty? Okay, well now it's time to cut off the excess wood banding that's framing my picture here. And I must say, I really wish I would have measured, cut, painted, then glued, because when I cut the painted wood banding, it did splinter on me, but it did not splinter at all before I painted it. So the paint did compromise the wood banding. So I just want to let you know that. So here I am. I'm just going to trim off, sand down, and then touch up with some white paint. And while I was touching up the wood banding, I went ahead and I painted the canvas. See how it is, the blue paint is peeking through underneath that wood banding, and this just gave it a much more finished look. And here it is, all done, sitting on my mantle. It is so pretty. What do you think? I would definitely order from PandaHall.com for some of my crafting needs. The stencil is amazing. I had no bleeding. The wood banding is of good quality. So I give these 2 products a thumbs up. Thank you everyone for watching my video today. I will leave the link for PandaHall.com in my description box, and I will also link it at the end of my video, just so you can get an idea of where to look if you are interested. So with all that said, everyone, thank you for watching my video, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Bye for now. And here is PandaHall.com website. Now you know what to look for when you're Googling. Okay, bye again.